On Friday, Donald Trump fired 9 more Pentagon officials and replaced them with people who are loyal to him. Essentially fired 9 Pentagon officials, replaced them with his cronies, even though he's got a little over 1 month left as President of the United States. That's the thing that's really starting to worry a lot of people with what's happening with all these Pentagon firings. You're on your way out the door, so why does this matter? Why would you be doing this when you know that these people only have a month and a half, at this point, some of them really only a month, before they're out the door again? This doesn't make any sense. Unless, of course, Joe Biden doesn't get rid of all these Trump loyalists and leave them in place, then okay, yeah, cool. Now you've made your point. Now you've got your people in the Pentagon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that a lot of people seem to be overlooking. Typically, unless it's, the top brass at the Pentagon, you don't usually see a whole lot of turnover as administrations come and go. Yes, they'll replace the, Secretary of Defense. They may replace a couple others a little further down the ladder, but they don't necessarily go through the entire Pentagon and purge everybody that the last administration put in place and replace them with your own guys. No, you kind of do it as they come and go unless there's a problem with somebody. That's the part a lot of people are overlooking because there's a lot of fear-mongering going on about this. So here is what other folks, some who kind of seem like they're trying to gin up a little bit of fear, are telling us is going to happen. And I'm not saying there's no possibility of this, but I am saying be wary of people who believe that this is Donald Trump's attempt to start a coup, like an actual military-style coup. So here's what it is. I have seen people on the left, much closer to the center, obviously, than I am, but they're saying that Trump is doing this so that he could possibly use the military after creating so much fear about the Georgia election, use the military to go and essentially scout out polling places in the Georgia Senate runoff. That's one of the prevailing theories. The other one is that maybe he could declare martial law, and then throw the election. Folks, I don't believe any of this. I think it is all 100% fear-mongering. Now, there are things that we need to do, I don't want to say be fearful of, but things we need to keep an eye on. For example, the fact that right now the Pentagon is actually not letting members of Biden's transition team in on the briefings that they're supposed to be in on. So that's a little concerning, right? That'll change, just like Trump not allowing the Biden transition at all to meet with the White House. That changed. And yes, there's hiccups along the way because Donald Trump is a whiny little infant and Republicans are acting like toddlers right now. They don't have much of a choice. I'm sorry, but as horrible as Donald Trump is, as psychotic as the man is, I seriously do not believe that he is going to use the military to stage an actual coup here in the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. He has absolutely used and abused the United States military, United States armed forces on our soil. We saw it in Portland. In the late summer months when they had these unmarked vans and these agents in plain clothes snatching people off the street. That's horrifying. That's not what this is, though, folks. I can almost promise you that is not what this is. What this is Trump getting his loyalists into the Pentagon, hoping they can continue to fly under the radar and that Biden doesn't come in and fire every one of them and replace them. That is what he is trying to do. Why is he trying to establish a permanent presence at the Pentagon? That is something we still do not know yet, but I believe that is the end goal, the permanent presence within the U.S. Military apparatus, as opposed to, I'm getting ready to start a coup, and I'm doing it in broad daylight. No. As crazy as the man is, I think even that idea is a little too crazy even for him.